paid him. And knowing his personality, they're not going to restructure. All right, guys, I got to get some sleep. I'm really tired. I'm sorry I haven't been able to do a better show, but I'm going to work on doing some better shows in the future. I'll be able to do more, and once free agency dust settles, I'll be able to really get into detail on which teams really improved, which teams, I think kind of lost an edge. But one more note I want to make is that this is the first year the Pittsburgh Steelers go into free agency in the last few years, and they're not really going to lose anybody big. I mean, if you just look at the list of teams, if you look at the list of players the Steelers are slated to lose, there's only a handful of guys on that team that I think actually should be returning. Think about it. I mean, first off, you want Greg Warren back. He's a hell of a great long snapper, and he's been so consistent his whole career. Ziggy Hood for depth purposes. Fernando Velasco for depth purposes. I'd have to probably say maybe if you can get Jericho Cotchery back at a good, decent price. He's really good in the slot, and he's so good at making mismatches in the red zone, which he did all last year. But for the record, I think that the Steelers are in a good position this offseason because they now don't have to really worry about signing any of their key guys. They can actually go out and get a guy like a Mike Mitchell, which they just did. 5 years, $25 million. And Mike Mitchell had 4 picks last year and was a hell of a good player for Carolina. So starting alongside Paul Mall, I think it's going to be great because he just filled a void right there. Now, if they can just potentially get a cornerback in free agency and, in my opinion, a couple of possibly defensive linemen for depth purposes, that'd be good because, you look at the AFC North right now. Since he's faltering, they've lost a couple of guys already. Their quarterback is in panic mode. You look at the Ravens. Their quarterback's mentally just not there. You've shown what he had to do by himself when Ray Rice and that offense didn't do crap last year. And then you also look at the Cleveland Browns. They've improved, but again, they still are that inept offense that can't get out of its own way. You can have as good a defense as if you want. If you can't score, you can't win. Right now, if the Steelers play their cards right, get some good draft picks, and build up with some of these free agents, which they usually don't do. I mean, Mike Mitchell's the biggest free agent signing the Steelers have had in 5, 6, 7 years. So if anything, it's going to be tough to see how what's going to be interesting to see how this settles, but I like the Steelers' chances going forward. That's my show for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to get some rest now. Have a good evening, or have a good night, and potentially maybe tomorrow evening I'll do some, but until then, stay tuned.